There's nothing wrong with spirited discussion. And I think today, in today's world, we're really lacking that, right? Because people aren't allowed to say their opinions anymore. Hey everybody, this is Gregory Paul Kotsaftis of the Pitching the Truth podcast. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode. And as always, thank you so much for listening. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pitching the Truth again. One more time. My name is Gregory Paul, your host. Sorry today, I've got a little bit of a sore throat. I'm feeling a little ill today, so I apologize up front for the scratchiness. But today, boys and girls, I wanted to chat a little bit about, are you known as a asshole? Recently, I went to a funeral service for my fiance's Julie's friend's father. He was a revered businessman, a sharpshooter, a cowboy, a loving father of 4 children, just an overall well-balanced person. He seemed to have done a lot of great things with his life. It was very interesting to listen to everybody sing his praises about all of his accomplishments in different various things. They live in a small community outside of Denver that is very close-knit on a lake. So it's kind of a lake community. There's a lot of people that knew each other. There had to be, 200 to 300 people there. It was very, very touching to see all these people that really enjoyed this man. But as I look at his picture right now with his cowboy hat on, and I kind of see the look on his face, I kind of understand where everybody was coming from. You see, because people were talking a lot about all of the great things he did, but it was kind of a joke because they mentioned, he's also known by the word that begins with A. And I paused as the woman said that up on the stage, and then she's like, yeah, he was an asshole. And so other people proceeded to go up over and over again and sing his praises and talk about how he was an asshole. Now, when we all think about the word asshole, we immediately think that means that the guy was just mean, nasty, crotchety, a dick. He just wasn't a good person, right? He was just generally an asshole. But the way they assimilated it was that he was an asshole because he was direct and honest, and that was okay. And that's what we're here to talk about today, because this show is called Pitching the Truth, and it's about truth and honesty. And I think it's important that we discuss what it is that maybe you're holding back on being an asshole about to somebody that you may or may not care for. Are you really living your truth? Are you being direct and honest like this person was? Because at the end of the day, it's okay to be an asshole. It's okay to be known as one. It's okay to be thought of as one. Because if you're holding to your convictions, your truths, your beliefs, and yeah, you might be wrong sometimes, and somebody might call you out on it and say, you know what, you are an asshole and you're wrong. There's nothing wrong with spirited discussion. And I think today, in today's world, we're really lacking that, right? Because people aren't allowed to say their opinions anymore. If you're not living your truth and you're not being direct and honest with everybody you're talking to every day, and here's the other thing that's really important about being an asshole, you don't care about the outcome. Like, honestly, you believe what you believe, you say what you want to say, you speak your truth every day, and if people don't like it, you just don't care. Again, another quality of being an asshole. We could even throw narcissistic asshole in front of it because it's really true. People that speak their mind, are direct and honest, are more respected. Sometimes they could be hated. That's the truth. I'm learning that also about Benjamin Franklin right now. I'm reading his autobiography, and we're talking about William Penn. And I haven't read the whole book yet, but William Penn seems to be that type of person. He kind of doesn't mind opposing people and having people dislike him, which I think is a really important trait for everybody to master out there, to be able to handle being an asshole, being direct, telling people what you think of them, and not worrying about the outcome. So here's the thing that really struck with me about this whole service. This guy was, again, revered in some aspects, but hated by others. My fiance even made it a point to say that her father and this man did not get along because they butted heads often. And I think there's nothing wrong with some friendly, maybe not always friendly, competitive nature, challenging each other, challenging opinions, and speaking your mind about who you think you are and what you're about. And again, people may or may not believe you. They may or may not understand you. They may vehemently disagree with you. But at the end of the day, I think that you should really consider being direct and being honest every day with everybody you meet, because at the end of the day, you're going to be more well respected for it. At the end of the day, maybe when you're at your funeral service, and this is also something I talk to a lot of my coaching clients about, if you're not being direct and honest with everybody you meet every day, and if you're not pushing your limits and your boundaries to have people look at you and wonder and challenge yourself, what are people going to say about you at your funeral? What are they going to say about you at your celebration of life, like this ceremony was? Are they going to say, yeah, he was just a really nice guy. Man, he could take those kids to school. He was awesome. He could mow that grass like nobody I've ever seen. And, he took us on vacation every once a year. And man, he loved to watch TV. He was a great TV watcher. He was an extremely interesting conversationalist of nobody. He loved to look at his phone. Is that what you want people to say? Or do you want people to say, yeah, he did some great things, and here's some of the things he did? And, I'll never forget this time that we were talking about our current president, and he was adamantly a registered Republican. That was his crowd, by the way. Not that that matters. He held to his values and his convictions. He believed what he believed. He had no problem telling anybody what he believed. He had no problem with anybody disliking him and thinking he was a jerk, because at the end of the day, that's who he was. And again, this man lived until his mid-80s, late 80s. And by the end of his life, even though he'd been off and on, probably loving, caring, and an asshole, he was revered for both. He was admired for both. He was admired for being a man that held true to his own convictions and decided what he wanted to do with his life. He did not back away from challenges. He did not kowtow to other people's opinions. He held his own opinion, and he decided to do what he wanted to do. And he, most importantly, maybe he was open-minded to listening to what other people had to say, but if he disagreed and if he didn't agree with them, he never gave in and let them change his mind about what he truly believed. So that's what I got for you guys today. Again, I apologize for the scratchy voice, but I think it's important that all of us pay attention to the fact that it's okay to be an asshole. There's nothing wrong with it. Matter of fact, a lot of my good friends are assholes, and they're good friends, but we still have those moments of arguments and disagreements, and we have no problem just saying it. You know what, man? You're an asshole. That's it. That's it for now. Thanks so much for listening. And again, I appreciate you all for taking the time. Please leave me a review down below if you get a chance, if you like the podcast. And until later, we'll talk soon.